Mombasa, straight from Nairobi. He's in Mombasa and he now joins us on phone. Dr. Good to speak to you this afternoon. You are a perfect communicator, I may say so. So why is this deal shrouded in so much mystery? Why is it that this deal is not clear to Kenyans, Waziri? Waziri, good evening. Good to join us this night. My question is, why is this deal shrouded in so much mystery? Why is it that there's very limited understanding on what this deal entails? The reason there's so much happening now around it.
Hello, I don't know if you can hear me.
Yes, we can.
I hardly hear you.
Waziri, are you able to hear us so that I can ask the question again?
I think it's very good for us to know that as the Minister for Labour, my responsibility is to ensure that employees and employers are able to get along and be able to move forward. When the issue of the strike by the aviation workers came about, I called them, and they had some very major issues to discuss. There was the issue about the management issues they had, issues about their working conditions, but then they also brought up the issue of the PPP project that the government is undertaking to improve the airport that we have in Kenya so as to make it as competitive as possible. What I have found out, and I spent about 2.5 hours today with the staff of the airport, is that there was not proper communication. There was not proper information given to them, and as a result, there's a lot of shrouded in propaganda, in mystery, and they have been misinformed. And my job from where I stand is to tell them that the government, and I've put them together with the Minister for Transport, needs to provide to them all the information that they require to know about the deal, but even more so about their fate as employees. Because the reason the employees of the airport division workers are concerned is it's not been very clear to them, it is not very clear to them what their fate is, what will happen in the new deal. Is it a takeover? Will these people come in, fire everybody and hire new people? Are people going to continue working under the same terms?
Okay.
What about those ones who are in permanent and pensionable terms? What about the ones who are in contract? How far will it be? What about their medical cover? So these are some of the issues that they brought up today, which I do agree with them that from where I sit in terms of labor, employees need to know what their fate is in terms of any major changes that come about. On the other hand, I was able to explain to them that there's been a lot of propaganda about what is going on. For example, that this funding is not from India. The funding is from the UAE. And the UAE are using a company that can undertake the work because it has experience of building 5-star airports. That is an Indian company. So it's also good for them to know how it is.
Okay.
The workers today were asking about the restructuring of the deal, how much we'll be paying, the process, what will be built. I told them, your job as employees is to ensure that you protect your job.
Okay.
And to ensure that you get the best deals.
Okay.
If you start concerning yourself on decisions that government make in terms of what the expansion will be, how many runways will be built, where the cables will run, and all those things, that's outside your forte, and you will not be able to focus.
Okay.
But I agreed with them that it is important that they be brought in the loop, they know what is exactly happening, so that they can also be able to protect their jobs.
Okay. Daktari, the main reason these employees were concerned is because they did not understand what is going to happen. Now, this is a new enterprise coming over to set camp at the Jomo Kenyatta International Airport. They did not understand. Is this an admission from your end that indeed there was a failure of communication, and as a result, we've had an unnecessary industrial action that we shouldn't have had from the beginning? Jomo Kenyatta, the first point of contact with outsiders, with Kenyans, now in protest because of that poor communication. Is this also an admission that indeed there was a problem here in terms of how we carried all these people along when this deal was being made? Waziri, you still here? All right. I think Waziri is unable to...
I do agree that we could have done a better job as a government. I do agree that they should have been brought in much earlier so that the rumors that were around, they could have said, wait a minute, we know about this. It's also good to note that there's a lot of competition, that this is a PPP. A PPP means public-private partnership. The Kenyan government will not take any loans or bring in any new, get money from the exchequer to expand the airport. So this is money coming from overseas. It's government-to-government organization. You come in, you build a new airport. That is needed. If you look at the competition we have, Ethiopia built a 5-star airport under PPP. Rwanda are doing the same. Tanzania is about to embark on the same. We are a regional hub, and we can get overtaken. This is not new in the world. Heathrow, for example, some Charles de Gaulle, the big airports in the world, are built under PPP. Government doesn't need to spend its own money. It is something similar to the expressway. Somebody builds, they operate, they hand it over to you. So the workers need to be able to be told clearly what their fate will be. And I think that is important. And today they asked for the documents. They wanted to know how the deal was structured, where it is, and because the deal is very far from being finalized. And I assured them that I will intervene so they can get the document and be able to read for themselves and be able to intervene to know what their fate will be. It is their right.
Finally, that is a promise that you made at the airport today, Waziri. Are you able to meet that end of the bargain? Are you able to provide that document by Friday? Because you are a mediator, but they say if you don't, by Friday the strike is back. Will you be able to deliver on Friday?
Yes. Will you be able to deliver on Friday? There's something that you need to know, and the answer is yes. But the other thing you need to know is this. There are different parties, and it's good for the country to know this. From what I've been able to find out, there are people who don't want this construction of the airport. During the previous government, when our beloved president was the deputy president, there was an attempt to build a new airport, and it failed. And some of the people who made it fail, some senior, they actually are not senior, but they are, busy politicians in our country, were involved in that deal that was going to rip off this country billions of shillings. And we have noticed there is a plan to try and scuttle this so that the normal people, the bonyenyes, still get that deal where the taxpayers pay so much money to make our kids even poorer and get us into indebtedness. So I was able to tell them that one of the reasons I have found out from the Minister of Transport why they are reluctant to give all the documents is because there is a trust issue. But I assured them that by this Friday, and I'm in communication with the Minister, they will get the documents and they'll be able to go through. And I told them the first document I want them to get is the one touching on their livelihoods. What will happen to the staff? Because if they spend time looking at how the runway will be built, how many cross lights will be there, all those things, it's not important. It is important, but it doesn't touch on their lives. What is critical from where I sit as the Labour Minister is what are the working conditions now and in the future of the workers that will be at Jomo Kenyatta International Airport.
Thank you, Waziri, for speaking to us tonight. We will be looking at what you do on Friday and if you provide that document. In the meantime, communication again in the government failed. Time for another break. Ahead in business news.